Hey, welcome. Lunchtime at the doghouse. Usually the crew's normally here by now, but I guess they forgot me. All right. I'm Joe for those watching on replay. Uh, Usually I just, I come in, sort of give you something to watch during your lunchtime and just trying to figure out what's going on here. Got a lot of stuff we're working. Supposed to be doing some static fire test in Boca Chica, Texas, but for some reason they are being fogged out at the moment. Hey, we got people showing up now. Welcome. Let me know who's here. Just throw a comment, or in if you're watching on Facebook, throw a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, uh, just throw something over in the chat box. Let me know who's here, what's going on, and we will, you know, reply to what you've got to say. Got a few things I'm going to talk about today, which ain't really much of anything. And I've lost everybody. Wonderful. One of the things that I'm going to talk about today is meatloaf. Not the singer, but the food, meatloaf, and then there's meatloaf, uh, scrap metal recycling, and favorite TV shows. But yeah, I'm gonna wait till we get a lot of people in here for responding, so I can throw my meatloaf comments in, because my meatloaf story is I'm going to blast the Cheesecake Factory's version of meatloaf. And I have examples to show. So when y'all are ready for that, we can get started on that. Some of the TV shows that I think are some of the greatest TV shows ever is MASH. Of course, I found out earlier that today is the 50th anniversary of the first episode of All in the Family, which was sort of surprising. I didn't realize it was that old. And what else have I got listed on here? The classic TV shows, Meatloaf, Scrapping, which is scrap metal recycling, which is a great thing. I got some motivational quotes for everybody. Just waiting for some comments to come in so we can start, interacting with everybody, because that's what we do here. We interact with our audience. And we got a good crowd starting in here. So just say, oh, hey there. Hey, Nick. Glad you're here. I'm doing well. I forgot to grab me a drink just a second ago. So I got to try to figure out how I'm going to try to grab a drink and actually do the show without walking away, because I don't have any commercials loaded. Let me see. Maybe I've got something in another brand loaded to give me just a second to see what we got going here. No, we haven't got anything there. Oh, shoot. Well, maybe not there. Maybe. Well, I'll tell you what I can do. I've got a trivia that I could throw in here. There is Teresa Dunn. Hey, welcome. Thank you. And just run for it. We understand. Okay. Thank you, Nick, for that. And Teresa. I don't know why I clicked you up again, but I did. But just for some good fun and all that, let's throw a quick trivia question up there and see if you can figure it out. And I'm going to grab a drink real quick. It's just on the other side of the room outside of camera view, but I got to get up to do it. So let's do this. Hey, all right, I'm back. Sorry about that, but I forgot to get it. And yeah, Nick, your answer popped up just at the same time that it popped up on the video screen. So, all right. Oh, but yeah, Nick, what I said some of my topics are going to be today is what is meatloaf? Not the singer, the actual meatloaf, the food. Oh, I didn't lock my chair just right. Got to get everything reset. Reason I'm so ill prepared is I was actually building me a closing theme, so I had to change some stuff around. But what my topics are is meatloaf, scrap metal recycling, and I call it scrapping, which is what I used to do. I haven't been able to get out and do it in a while, but it's nice. And Nick says meatloaf is a one-off best ways to prep a hamburger. Yeah. Ooh, that would make a good hamburger patty to sort of make it like meatloaf. I got to get my cords readjusted there. Sorry about that. And what got the bee in my bonnet is last year they opened up a cheesecake factory here in my town, and my daughter gave us some gift cards to go to Cheesecake Factory and get us something to eat. And I really didn't see anything on the menu that I liked, but I saw meatloaf, and trust me, I love some meatloaf. And I got some examples here of what I consider as meatloaf. Like this. That's good looking meatloaf. That's good looking meatloaf. Of course, not too thrilled about the meat and the mashed potatoes, but okay, I can deal with that. And then there's, that is perfect. Little chives on top of that and all that. But we went to Cheesecake Factory and ordered meatloaf. I got the meatloaf. $9 worth of meatloaf, I might add. Thank God it was a gift card. But I took a picture of it because I was amazed. Everybody thought, oh, he's one of those that takes a picture. Oh, yeah, I don't normally pull out my camera and take a picture while, at a restaurant to eat. I don't take. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what the Cheesecake Factory calls meatloaf. What the hell is that? That is sauteed onions on top of meatloaf. It also, mixed inside it, had carrots and cayenne peppers. I can deal with the corn. I'm not a big green beans fan, but I can deal with that. Sauteed onions on top of the meatloaf with carrots and cayenne peppers mixed in. What the hell is that? That ain't meatloaf. Not where I come from, anyway. I can't believe we don't have Carl or Donna or Brian. I guess they forgot today was Thursday. All right. But yeah. So, Nick, what do you think of that as meatloaf? Would you call that meatloaf? Just ask. Would you call that meatloaf? I wouldn't. And uh-oh, Brian just said he just got here. He had to feed Cookie. Well, you feed Cookie. Brian, did you just see my meatloaf rant? Yeah, I'm back on meatloaf. And Brian's going, who is calling that meatloaf? Nick Tockert goes, what the fuck? He says, sorry, I don't usually swear on other streamers' shows. Yeah, I'm going to show that again. That is what the Cheesecake Factory calls meatloaf. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, saw the picture. Where the heck? Under that pile of sauteed onions. It looks, and the sauteed onions, you know, I can dig sauteed onions, but on meatloaf? And Nick Talker goes, that is some Hell's Kitchen reject idea of deconstructed meatloaf. Yeah. Along with that deconstructed meatloaf, it had carrots and cayenne peppers. I mean, it was almost too hot to eat. Brian Morris says, that's not meatloaf. That pic should be accompanied with a written apology. Yes. And Nick goes, that's an abomination. Yes, it is an abomination. What the hell? I mean, and it did not taste good. And trust me, I know what food tastes like. I know what good meatloaf tastes like. That's not even it. Sam's prepackaged meatloaf tastes better than that. What is it? Swanson's frozen meatloaf tastes better than that. But yeah, that was just one of my crazy rants, and it showed up in my memories today, so I had to, show pictures of that, because I don't know if y'all remember me talking about it, and y'all were thinking, oh, it can't be meatloaf. How can you screw up meatloaf? By God, they did it. Okay, they screwed it up. Who threw the heart out? Hey, Heather Ellen, thank you for the heart. I am on a rant about meatloaf from the Cheesecake Factory. It was just, yeah. Brian says, that sort of memory I try to repress. Yeah, I try to repress it, but every time I drive past there, it jumps back out at me. It's like, and then there's PTSD, and of course, then it showed up on my memories today. So, we get to talking about meatloaf, and I think about meatloaf, and then I think about that meatloaf, and it's like, no. And what does Nick say? That's why when I ordered chicken and dumplings and there was no salt in the things, I'm ready to freaking crusade against that grade of evil. Oh, yeah. Chicken dumplings. Ooh, I got a can of chicken. Now, I will eat canned chicken and dumplings just as fast as I'll eat homemade chicken and dumplings. And there's some in the kitchen, so I know what I'm eating. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm headed after that. But another one of my little things that I was talking about is great TV shows. I don't think there has been a good TV show probably in the last 25 years. One of my favorite shows is MASH. I loved MASH. The writing on that show was fantastic. The characters were well built. The actors made them work. Of course, I love the twist. I mean, by God, if you have not seen the end of MASH by now, it's been nearly 40 years. If you have not seen the end of MASH by now, I'm going to spoil it for you. Klinger staying in Korea was absolutely the most brilliant writing ever. I just loved it. The scene when what was his name? McLean Stevenson left the show. Colonel Henry Blake. And Harry Morgan came in to replace him as Colonel Potter. When Colonel Blake left the show, the way he left the show was he got his release and he was going home. And at the end, the radar comes in and reads the notice of Henry Blake's plane was killed. There was no survivors. That was probably one of the hardest scenes that happened at the time. People were just devastated. Brian Morris posted up, MASH was incredible. Loved the fact they made the subtle move from a sitcom with dramatic accents to a drama with some one-liners. Yes. Then he goes, but after MASH was pretty forgettable, though. Yeah. I think the after MASH was the characters were tired and old, and they just didn't. The writing wasn't there for it. I don't even think many of the regular writers were even there for the after MASH. But shoot, I've only been going 18 minutes and I'm already running out of stuff to talk about. I could not find any good show prep. Okay. Next on my list was what I call scrapping and picking. That is for the scrap metal recyclers. I used to, before all COVID hit in and my back really started going out on me, one of the ways I raised a little extra money is I would go cruising neighborhoods for scrap metal, where people throw out scrap metal. Of course, the scrapping also turned into picking, and you would be surprised what people would throw away in this country. It was unbelievable, the stuff that I would pick up that people, perfectly good stuff. Lawn furniture, planter racks, TVs, lamps, lawnmowers. I mean, somebody would throw out a lawnmower. I'd get it home. Me and my son would drain the gas out of it, clean the air filter, clean the spark plug, get it halfway running, blast a little carburetor cleaner in it, and then it runs good. And what somebody threw away, I make $50 to $75 off of. And okay, Nick says, see, now I was a devout scrounge, fixing things thrown away. But it was a race between scrappers and scroungers and the garbage man. But yeah, I would scrap and scrounge. That's just the way I am. And then Brian K. Morris says, if you want good dumpster diving, waiting till your local college ends a semester. He's picked up TVs, microwaves, ovens at the curbside many times at the University of Illinois. Yes. Oh, yes. Uh, and also, if you go into the duplex districts end of the month and a duplex district, yes, you find a lot of stuff. But yeah, and I should have taken my load that I've got built up in the backyard. I should have taken and hauled it off last week, because last week they were paying $8.50 a hundred. It's now down to $7 a hundred. That is not a good thing. The Skunk Rocker says, "Am I the only person watching on YouTube that has liked this video?" I guess, Skunk, because yeah, you're the only YouTuber one on YouTube. Nick is on Facebook, and Nick says that's why I drive a pickup. Yeah, and I got a problem. And Brian Moore says Craigslist used to be a good source for giveaways. I hate to do this, guys, but I have got to duck out for a few minutes. Something has just come up. I don't want to end the show. If you guys can keep a good conversation going, I'm going to. I've got to get away. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, everybody. We had a situation here. At least nobody needs stitches. That's the best thing to say about that. All right, sorry, things were going crazy here. All right. Okay, sorry about that. We had an issue. But nobody needs stitches, so everything's good. Okay, where was I? What was I ranting about? Y'all need to help me out. Hey, Thessaly, I'm glad you tuned in. Yeah. And Brian Morris says, stitches. Well, at least, the day is still young. Yeah, the day is still young. Oh, I'm totally discombobulated now. Trying to get my headset untangled because I had to throw it and run. Again, I apologize, everybody, because I was not expecting this to happen. We thought we had these dogs all organized. Yeah, and yeah, welcome back. Again, I apologize. I'm a little discombobulated on. We had a couple dogs in a disagreement, and when one's outweighs the other one by about 40 pounds, it's not a good combination. Sorry about that. And Brian K. Moore says, for Facebook friends, please be sure to like this video. Please like the video, because I'm sorry that you had about 8 minutes of black screen. But, that happens sometimes. Where was I? We were talking about MASH and After MASH. Yeah, After MASH was less than memorable. They just couldn't hit their stride. I mean, I don't even think it made it more than about 4 or 5 episodes before CBS pulled the plug on it, to be honest with you. But what got me thinking about that is today is the 50th anniversary of the airing of All in the Family. If y'all remember that show. That's a show that we couldn't do again, for sure. Oh. And the Skunk Rocker. And Skunk says, I wonder if Joe's going to read out this entire one-man play. Probably not, because you got to going, and I can't do that. And, it's kind of funny that sometimes the speech to text will think I'm saying Jedi instead of Joe Dog. Okay. And did I lose everybody? I think I've lost everybody. Oh, no. I apologize. Yeah, this was not one of my better shows. I apologize. We are working on. Had a. Yeah, Joe Dog is a Jedi. That would be a hoot. Yeah, that would be a hoot. Yeah. This is not the show you've been looking for. Well, shoot. Okay, Brian Morris is back and says, All in the Family was another great one, like MASH. Its sequel was pretty flat. Yeah, the Archie Bunker's place. Yeah, it was bad. And he said he learned recently that the Bill Dana, Jose Jimenez wrote the script for the infamous Sammy Davis Jr. episode. Oh, cool. And I'm sorry, I cannot get focused back into the show because I'm worried about a dog here for a minute. But yeah. Now Now, Brian is commenting, and Skunk was commenting at the same time, so don't know. Yeah, the Gloria had its moments. Of course, one of the best spin-offs of All in the Family was the Jeffersons, which was pretty much they could almost recycle those scripts between the two of them, because George was just as bigoted as Archie Bunker, but it was funny. Of course, we can't have humor anymore because that's not permitted. Yeah, legalize humor again. Oh, but yeah, come on, guys, I need help me out here. I'm going to go ahead and get my motivational quote going here. Okay. Oh, I know which one I want to use. I know exactly which one I use. I've got it set up, ready to go. True Joe Dog talking about the Jeffersons, and Maude was a spinoff, and then Maude had a spinoff. Do you know what that was? That is going to be the big question. What was the spinoff from Maude that was very successful? I'll wait for Brian to answer me on that one. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and throw out my little. And Brian goes, "Oh, I should know that one." Yes, you should know that one. You should know that one. And I'm going to give out my Joe Dog's motivational quote for the day. And this is not by me. It's one that I found that I think is very good. And it says, people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Zig Ziglar. And Brian, if you give it up, I'm going to let you know. It was Good Times with Florida. She was Maude's maid. Kind of bored sitting here by yourself. I wonder if I could pull this one off. No, that one ain't going to work. Never mind. I can't make that work. All right. So if anybody's got anything they want to add to the show, and Brian goes, yes, I remember Esther Roll. Couldn't come up with the show. Well played, sir. Yeah. So actually, Good Times was a spinoff of a spinoff, which is they couldn't do spinoffs today. Sadly, it's gotten to the point where scripted shows are a thing of the past. The writers want too much money. It's just crazy. Of course, now here's my personal opinion. They should come to some of the independent authors like Michaela Jade, Brian Morris, Donna Carleen, Carl Whitzman, and all of Brian Morris's crew. Hollywood should start looking to you guys for new scripts. Because I guarantee you guys are 10 times better at creating what would be what these years and years of Hollywood writers have come up with. You guys can come up with the better stuff. And I actually think Netflix needs to actually start looking at you guys as writers. Of course, that's my opinion, and you know what they say about that. And yeah, the last spinoff that he can think of in recent years was Class, which was a spinoff of Doctor Who, and it didn't last. And Brian Morris says he appreciates the compliment that if I had the financing, I'd love to do some short run shows. Yeah. And that's another thing when you said short run shows. I've noticed that American television is taking a page out of the other English speaking countries television series, and they're only doing 10 to 12 episodes as a series, as you know, as a season. They're trying to cut cost. One of my favorite shows was Big Bang Theory. One of the reasons that Big Bang Theory ended was the one, Jim Parsons was done and everybody was all that, has pretty much aged out of that genre. And the production cost on just the main cast members was nearly $6 million an episode on just cast salary. And then, okay, Brian Moore says, maybe if this network thing works for all of us, we'll get into video fiction too. Good idea. And Skunk is saying that I've told you this before. I'll say it again, that such and such movie or show couldn't be made today because quote unquote, people are too sensitive, and this has always been a misnomer. Brian Moore says, good point, Joe. British TV has been doing short run shows since the 60s. And those shows and movies with that kind of humor were always funny because of the fact they were making fun of the very racism and bigotry that you think would get their show taken off the air. All in the Family was funny because Archie was a bigot. And it was funny because Mike and Gloria and everyone else that show called him out for his BS. Yeah. And then he would try to backpedal to explain his views and end up failing and learning a lesson. Yeah, I agree. And then it's the same way with Blazing Saddles and all those other films and shows that people always say couldn't be made today. That's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous to a point, but they just wouldn't take it. I did not even touch the share screen. What the? I'm sorry. My, something happened. My share screen just jumped up. And Brian is agreeing with Skunk. Good point, Skunk. Take Faulty Towers. That should show has almost been a victim of the cancel culture in recent years. And Skunk Crocker says, I hate when people say that because it's never pointed. And sorry for all these posts, but YouTube only gives me so many characters per comment, and I had a lot to say. And Nick Talkert says, sorry, got deliveries, classic TV. It had a non-focus group style with independent focus. Yeah, absolutely. I'm getting a lot of stuff. Notifications coming from everywhere. All right. Yes. Checking everything going on. I don't know if y'all got to hear my motivational quote for the day. I'll give it again. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Yeah, daily motivation's what we need. And that was by a quote by Zig Ziglar. And it says, oh, this show has a lot of characters. Most of them is in the comments. Yes. And if it wasn't for you, we couldn't pass the time. And the biggest character, actually the two biggest characters, one's driving and other has a big red fez on. And Brian Moore says he likes that quote and he is a huge Zig Ziglar fan. Yes. Oh, I wonder if Zig Ziglar's quote videos are on YouTube now. I wonder. I'll have to check that out after we're done. After I go get my big can of chicken and dumplings. So, where are we at? That's not what I wanted. Where did that come from? Get back over here. All right. And Brian Moore says, I've built a huge empire on viewer comments. And also, I'd be surprised if they aren't. Check out Les Brown. He's amazing. Okay. Les Brown. Where did my pen go? I had a pen right there. I'm so disorganized. But yeah. And check out Les Brown anyway. He's seen him and Ziegler in person. Okay, that is good. You can look him up on YouTube. Mike Rayburn. That's one you need to check out, Brian. His name is Mike Rayburn. When you go through and look, you'll see him holding a guitar. Mike Rayburn has given up his career as a traveling musician to do motivational speeches, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then Skunk says, if you take a show like All in the Family, put it in a modern context, it'd still work. Got a perfect example, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And he says, you tell me after that show if Frank isn't basically an Archie analog. Probably. I never watched Always Sunny. I've been wanting to, but it just never did anything for me. And thank you, Christian Basil, for sharing the video. I think somebody else did too. Who else threw a quick share out there? But Christian did throw me some love, which makes it even better. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate that. And I guess talking about Mike Rayburn, he says, nice. I recall Kenny Loggins put some time into being as a motivational speaker before going back to music. And Skunk says, Joe, I think you'd love it, or at least he thinks I would. I'm willing to give anything a try. And then it would probably mind either a lot of the people from cons and that you've worked with. Yes. No, I don't want to be reminded of some of the people I work with. I just don't want to go through that again. I can't. Oh, guys, I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to wrap this show up early. My wife is sending me messages, and I'm going to have to get out of here. So let's just call this a short day, because we've actually really been, we have been kicking it, but, with the dog issue, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to get out of here. And of course, Nick says, I kind of missed the few periods of TV show, just stumbled into Community and Chevy Chase's Uh, surprisingly, a uh, archibuncherist. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to get out of here, guys. I'm sorry. Look, we normally run about 55 minutes and we're right at 50 minutes, but I'm going to have to get out of here. I apologize. And everybody, yeah, tune in tonight at Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we'll have a good cast of characters. And I promise you it'll flow a lot smoother than what today is. Today we couldn't hit the stride and then had an issue with the dog. So I'm going to have to jump out of here. And we're going to wrap it up. Thanks, everybody. And again, we will see you tonight at 9 o'clock for Stupid O'Clock, Saturday at 11 for Stupid O'Clock, and then some other stuff on all that. And Brian Moore says he called it early yesterday, Joe Dog. I can't too. Well, when the boss says I can cut out, I'm out of here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will see y'all tonight, Saturday, and again Tuesday morning. Good night. We'll see y'all. Good night or good afternoon. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.